Telling somebody that you're going for a shit is normally always too much information. But why let that stop you? In this episode, I'll explain the many polite, the many impolite, and 69 silly ways to say you're going for a shite. My name is also used as a surname. This is Good Bad English. Let's do this.
Mind the gap.
No surprise, there are very few polite ways to describe defecation. Well, relative to the many silly ways you can describe it, at least. Your doctor might refer to it as excretion or excreting feces. Or indirectly refer to it as your bowel movements or simply movements. If you want to be a little bit more indirect about it, you can use the term going for a number 2. Yes, you guessed it, a number 1 describes things coming from the front and number 2 describes things coming from the back. Whenever I need to go and take care of business, the way that I indirectly refer to it is by using duration. So I might say to somebody that I'm gonna be a while. Another indirect way, and maybe juvenile way, is to say that you're going to lose weight. Tell us in the comments if you've ever weighed yourself before and after taking a shit. You don't need to necessarily tell us how much the results weighed though. Parents that are more comfortable with the matter might ask their children, do you need to go for a poo or do you need to go for a poo-poo? They might alternatively use the term doo-doo or doody. One that's kind of funny for me at least is how parents might refer to the sound of the poo entering the water. So, plop. Henry, go plop plop.
Mind the gap.
The most common impolite way for saying you're going to cur one out is to say you're going for a shit. One that the British often use is going for a crap. Similar, but not, I believe, related to the term crapper, which is an alternative term for the toilet itself. It refers to the former British toilet manufacturer Thomas Crapper & Co. Limited. For real, you could also use go for a dump, as in to dispose of waste.
Mind the gap.
Like, people are really into finding creative ways to say they're going to hang a rat. That's one creative example. The list is long, and longer than the 69 examples I'll give you now. However, I chose for you the more entertaining ones. Here they are. I'll begin with the uncategorized and generally amusing ones. Call of Duty. As in the game, Call of Duty. Chocolate time. Crip a crapple. Free the chocolate hostages. Give King Kong his fingers back. Launch torpedoes. You could say you're going to let the toilet know who's boss. Or log out. Play shit Jenga. I like that. Pull a few cones. Now, I guess this is an ice cream reference. Pump a dump. Pump a clump, or dump out my rump. Throw up backwards. That's good. Unload or unload a batch of cigars. Then there are terms with the word brown in them. Brown, of course, referring to the colour of the shit. So you could say you're going to brown the water. Or download the brown load. I like that. Hatch the brown trout. Lay down some brown. And restock the pond with brown trout. Then there are terms with the word porcelain in them, referring to the material of the toilet bowl itself. Become the porcelain assassin. Bomb the porcelain sea. Bomb the town of porcelain. Feed the porcelain. Punish the porcelain. Sacrifice to the porcelain gods. And lastly, spray paint the porcelain. Then there are terms related to backing things out, as in things coming from the back. You could just say you're going to back one out. Or you could say back the big brown motorhome out of the garage. Say you're using shit to build things by saying you're building a beaver dam or building a log cabin. Then there is the cutting of things, such as cutting the monkey tail, or to cut the rope. And naturally you'll be dropping things off, such as dropping a bomb, or drop a deuce, or drop the dangle. You could drop the anchor, which apparently means taking a ship while standing up. Lastly, you could simply drop logs. You could also drop things off in another sense, in that you're going to drop people or things off in a location. So you could say that you're going to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl, or drop the kids off at the pool, drop the Marines off at the pool, and lastly, just drop your friends off at the pool. Similarly, you could take people places. So you could take Mr. Gloop up to the fudge room, and again take the Browns to the Super Bowl. And then there's just going places. You could say that you're going to go have a meeting with the governor. I guess you could just add anyone supposedly important there. Or you could say you're going to go to the library. I guess that kind of refers to the reading that's done whilst there. On the subject of travel, you could dispatch a train. Then there is feeding things, which is a bit disgusting. You could say you're going to feed the seagulls. Or simply say that you're going to feed the toilet. Okay, stop. These next examples are disgusting. So, giving birth. You could say you're going to give birth to a family of otters. Or give birth to a black eel. Or you could say you're going to give birth to some spineless brown fish. Moving on. We could say we are going to lay things out. Therefore, lay dumplings. Lay a brick. Lay a cable. There are no prizes for laying a longer cable. You could also make things. For example, you could make an appointment with Dr. John. John referring to the toilet, of course. You could say you're going to make some chocolate. Or you could say you're going to make a deposit. You could make some gravy. Or make logs. You could make a tail. Or simply make waves. You can get dramatic by saying you'll release things, like release a depth charge, or release a dung bomb. You could release Meatloaf's daughter. You could say you're going to release the hostages, or the chocolate hostages. You could release the Kraken, which is a mythical sea creature. Make a political statement by saying you're going to vote for the president. Lastly, you can just go weird and say you're going to wrestle a leprechaun. There are no doubt many more terms for popping one out, and we need your help in finding them. Dear audience, I kinda don't want them, but we kinda need them. Share with us in the comments what terms I've missed. Tell us what terms you use for doing a turd. Oh my god, it just doesn't stop. To learn about the many good, bad and stupid terms for the toilet itself, check out the first episode in my toilet trilogy. For other good, bad and ugly terms for urinating, be sure to check out the second in my series. Oh wait, I just realised, what happens if you don't make it to the toilet in time and you piss yourself or shit yourself? There you go. There's a new episode on its way. If you enjoyed this episode and you learned something new, be sure to hit the like button, and for more of the same shit but slightly different, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for joining me, bye for now.